Okay, 5, 4, 3. Hey everyone, it's Gordon Einstein. We are back with Digital Week Online. It is dark here in Kiev, so I'm a little bit in the shadow, but the ideas, the people, the content today is not in the shadow. And of course, this is the first day of this fantastic show, and it is International Women's Day. And in honor of International Women's Day, I get to be quiet. Yay! So we're going to be talking about, the topic is Millennium Impact Women. And our moderator is Debra Rue. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes,
fantastic. Debra, I'm going to pass it to you, and I'm going to mute myself on every channel. You got an hour. Make it happen. Rock it. Talk to you all soon. Good job.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. And welcome, everyone. We are very excited always to celebrate millennials and International Women's Day. I have a really amazing group of very, very talented women that continue to show the reason why we should include women with disabilities in all leadership roles. So I'm going to quickly introduce them, and then I'm going to turn it over to them and have them introduce themselves a little bit more. But first of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Debra Rue, and I own a company called Rue Global Impact. I also am working on a nonprofit to support international professionals with disabilities, making sure that they're meaningfully included. And I have a 33-year-old daughter with Down syndrome who my whole life, her whole life, we were told she could add no value. Totally disagree. Women can add a lot of value, especially if we are very determined to include us. So that's who I am. I work with global brands all over the world, making sure they're meaningfully including people with disabilities. I'm focusing on tech for all, tech for good, digital inclusion, and all those other fun things, because technology can be a great equalizer, but we do need to make sure that it works for all humans, and that also that I really like when technology supports some of our biggest problems that we're working on. And so speaking of that, we have some very, very talented women today that are doing those same things, really focusing on having real impact in the world. So first of all, I'm going to start with Prakriti, and I am sure that I butchered your name. So let me just let you introduce yourself real quick and give your name correctly if I did that incorrectly.
Hi, Debra. I'm really glad to be here, and you did a good job with my name. It was exactly how you're supposed to say it. Thank you so much. Just really quickly to introduce myself, I work in all things holistic wellness based. So everything that I do is focused on making sure that people get to their optimum health and feel their own power. So whether it be as a chief strategy officer of the National Women's Parliament, which is a quasi-government body in India, or as the global lead for mental health in Roundglass, which is again a global company looking at, in fact, how do you bring mental well-being and just global optimal well-being and integrated health to everybody? How do you democratize that? And it's kind of like a passion of mine in any case. So working on that, I also have a foundation actually in India that only works on mental health awareness, as well as a company that provides personalized care in the integrated system. So just that's all I do. It's what I do every day. I wake up with the passion to make the world a better place for anybody and everybody. So I'm actually really honored to meet you as well, since you're doing the same thing. And it's always such a privilege to be around people who are invested in a purpose. Thank you.
Well said, well said. Next, we're going to go with Kimiko.
Hi, it's my honor to be in this discussion. I'm sorry that I have a little bit of a stutter today, but it's really an honor to join you, and very impressive profile of the woman today. And it's a very good chance for us to share the experience across. So my name is Kiều My, and I come from Vietnam. I have been working in the technology sector for the last 10 years, really focused on the deep tech and emerging technologies. So I'm the founder of Women in Tech Vietnam, and also the founder of YellowBlocks, the first emerging technology consulting firm focusing on being on the gateway for emerging technologies such as AI, blockchain, cloud, big data, and I have been into electric vehicles recently. So we have been working closely, and I'm personally the consultant for 4 different governments, Singapore, Australia, Austria, and Vietnam, definitely. So I'm also the head of the Frontier Technology sector for Ministry of Science and Technology in Vietnam. So it's my honor today because I think that technology is really shaping our world, and I want to focus my viewpoint on using technology as the platform and as the fundamental for us to solve like the scalability and like technology for good. And I'm like an advocate, a lifelong advocate for new technology for life. Thank you.
Congratulations. I wasn't going to go with Luiza Ave next, but I don't see her online. So I don't know if she is on and she, yay, there she is. Okay,
Hello.
good. Well, hello.
Hello,
So glad
first
to
of
see
all, glad to see you. First of all, happy Women's Day, all of us. So my name is Luiza Xavier. I'm a global fashion producer. My own company is called Millennium Production. We do fashion shows all over the world, and we're focusing from GCC market as well. We do it in Milano, we do it in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, around the world. Plus, I'm a business networker. And in this moment, I'm supporting one IT company, like those chief communication officer. And yeah, like this, now I'm based in Dubai. So it was not easy to come in pandemic time, but this what about women empowerment?
Yes, thank you. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Maria Jones.
Hey, I'm so thrilled to be here with all these amazing female leaders and achievers. And hi from Dubai. I'm Maria Jones. I'm the former vice president at the Cointelegraph Media Group. It's one of the leading digital media covering the Bitcoin, the blockchain, and the future of finance. And currently, I'm the founder of the Third Millennium Woman platform. And I don't know, I was recognized one of the most influential female voices in blockchain and one of the most connected people in blockchain. But nowadays, I feel that my mission is to empower women across the globe.
Well said. Congratulations. So we have a very, very talented group of women here, and definitely we should be celebrating on International Women's Day because women are really making a huge difference in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the panelists one at a time questions, and if any of the other panelists want to jump in afterwards and make a little comment, please let me know. So I'm going to start with Prakriti and ask you a question. Tell the audience about your leadership journey. And you started talking about it in your introduction, but tell us a little bit more, especially from the viewpoint of the reality is even though we are the largest minority group in the world, women, there are actually more women in the world than men. There's actually women are the majority, but we're still treated like a minority. We're not really being meaningfully included in a lot of ways. And I think that's a lot of work that you're all doing and I'm doing as well. So from that lens, I was wondering if you would tell us about your leadership journey as a woman.
Thank you. You made it so specific that I'm going to have to just talk about that angle of leadership and what we've done in that space and what we should do. And you're right. I mean, during this whole COVID, especially during this COVID pandemic, we started in India a helpline which was free of cost and still exists. And I have to say, yes, we're like the largest minority, although we're not a minority. We've had to deal with so much. There's been so much vulnerability that women have come forward with, whether it be abuse, whether it be domestic violence, whether it be in the workplace. And being able to support them has been one of my largest challenges. And obviously my largest endeavor, but challenge because women don't support women. And unfortunately, I wish that to change. And when I was thinking about this question as well, because you did tell me that there would be a similar question to do with, who supported you as a woman. And I have to say that, it made me think. It made me think that I've supported women, but I've never had women support me. And I don't know if all women feel like this, but it's very sad that we struggle. We all have the same struggles and the same challenges, but we're unable to support each other because there's competition involved in this. Because if you've managed to come ahead and you've managed to build your way, like Maria said, I'm an influencer, so she's able to, with her language, maybe capable of influencing other people. But yet on the back end, you have stories that women tell about women, which are not so positive. And I wanna highlight that it's time that you actually collaborate, you pull each other together and you hold each other. And I've been lucky in a sense of men haven't put me down. I haven't had the experience where men have pulled me down. I've had supportive figures in my career, and maybe because I never noticed, and it's unfortunate, I never noticed the disparity growing up. Although I come from a patriarchal society, I think in my family, I didn't notice it. And we were just allowed to do everything that men were allowed to do. And everybody here is from a patriarchal society, as I can see this, because unfortunately, we believe it's changed, but it hasn't even come to gender equity. There's just been no gender equity, no gender equality for sure, but it's time that we do that. So deeply involved even in India, I worked a lot with the Maharashtra state of women, and they have self-help groups, etc., just empowering them, giving them the voice to be able to empower themselves. And yet the legal system doesn't supply it. So you can do whatever you can do.
And we lost her for a second, and hopefully she'll come back.
I can add a few sentences that I truly believe this tendency is changing. And now we see how women truly, we support each other. And I'm super happy. I agree with Prakriti, but yes, it's changing, definitely. What do you think?
Well, and hopefully her Wi-Fi will behave, because we're all dealing with that. But I'm much older, obviously, than these young, beautiful, talented women. In my 60s, and the reality is, I had the exact same experience. That women sometimes were the very worst. Yay! We're so glad you're back. And let me let you finish your thought, and then I'll make my comment.
I just think that in my leadership journey, and since we're talking about leadership journey, I think it's fair to say that women have had to struggle on their own. They've made a mark because of their own resilience, and it's time that we, as leaders in the space, provide that space for women to come out and really create that circle of help and influence and support each other. I think I want to end with that. Thank you.
Right, and I agree, and very well said. And I know that my whole career, I've been very deliberate about supporting women, and especially younger women. I think another thing that I have to bring up as a baby boomer talking to millennial women is that I think my generation needs to do a much better job of supporting the women behind them. So I agree with what you said and what Maria said. We're starting to see changes, but I still think there's a lot of room for women to really get behind other women and support them. I like the tag, women supporting women. I use that often. So let me go next to Kimiko and talk to you about what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in your journey?
Sorry, come again, the question?
What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned along your business journey? Because you're doing some amazing things, but what are some of the lessons? And I'll give you an example that Prakriti, whenever I was starting my company in 2000, I was told by a white male in Virginia, because I'm in the United States, that my company would never be successful if I did not have a white man running my company. As soon as he said that, I was determined to prove him wrong, and I did. So tell us some of the lessons that you've learned along the way. You can do it from the positive or negative or a combination.
Yes, thank you. I think this is a very interesting question. And I think when I share my my story and my viewpoint, is always like a very interesting angle that people can think. Because, like I grew up in Vietnam, but then when I was 16 years old, I moved to Europe for 10 years and then moved back to Vietnam. And at that time, Vietnam is like a booming country with new opportunities and so on. And in my generation, we have a joke that actually the challenge in our generations is not the actual physical challenge that our previous generation faced, but rather it's like to overcome the convenience, to overcome, like to challenge ourselves, to step out of the comfort zone. So I think for most of my business decision, and when I get to like the new height of the business opportunities, it's more about the decision to really go out of the comfort zone. And I think my path is a little bit privileged, but I don't think that's as smooth for other women in my country. The reason I think the most important lesson I learned is that the most critical supporter is actually from the early education. And I was blessed to be in a family that my parents, they do not understand why I would choose like this technology path or something like that. They don't really understand what is technology and why would their only daughter, instead of follow the family business, would, you know, go to somewhere 10,000 kilometers away to pursue like some computer science stuff. But at least they respect my choice. And I think that I heard this quote from somewhere that you cannot dream to become something that you haven't seen. So I think like the previous generation, we don't have enough demonstration, enough examples of successful women in business or women in technology in particular. It was like a very masculine in the perception and in the stereotype. And I think I want to redefine that. I want to challenge that, because that's why we also like launched the community called Women in Tech and Women Support Women, because even women in business, when we have like the inner circle, we can share like the challenges that we go. So along the way, I think the most important lesson I learned is that the internal motivation is very important, but it's also very important for you to find like-minded peers and like the one who really support you, even though they don't understand why you choose this difficult path. Because of course we know ourselves, like our capabilities and our potentials. But like to have like the pat in the back of the like-minded people, and especially, for example, this group, we have people from very different background, but we share the same spirit and the same vision. We can gain like this energy momentum.
Ooh, well said, very well said. And I think, you know, you brought up some really, really good points about what we can do for each other to make sure that we're all included. I think we also, as we're looking at who is and who is not being included, we need to look at all the intersectionalities. If we're talking about women, let's make sure we're including women that are typically disenfranchised. So great points, and also very good points about women still not being as meaningfully included in technology as we'd like to see. Well, I worry often about the data sets, and I know there's a lot of men that are very deliberately saying, well, I'm not going to be on a panel that doesn't include women, and if this panel isn't diverse. And I, like Maria mentioned, I'm blessed to be a global influencer, but how are we using our privilege, as you talked about, to make sure that others are included? Because I, you know, was selected as one of the top, I was the first woman of the top global influencers. There were 3 men ahead of me, and then I was the first woman, which was great. But how do we make sure that we're opening the door for all of the other women, all the other disenfranchised people to come in as well? So beautiful, beautiful comments. Luiza, how can women leaders help assure women have better representation in leadership?
Okay, thank you for your question. Better representation, right?
Yes, yes. Why do we matter? Why does it matter that we're at the table? I had a feeling you could answer that one.
Okay, first of all, to be honest, I believe that the woman, like the woman, how they are unique because they have a multifunctional mind. Okay. And we can look to the same question with absolutely another way. We can find 1,000 options to get a decision. It's like how is working our mind, and especially how is working the woman's mind who are entrepreneur or they achieve high goals, and they can be in engineering, they can be in medicine, in IT. It doesn't matter. Like, let's say entrepreneur mind, okay? Because entrepreneur mind of woman and the man is completely different things. And I can share to you my experience. Some months ago, I started to work with a men's team, and I'm in the main team, just one woman. And of course, I feel myself like I always need to get them proof why I'm there. But and it's like I'm putting myself on the position, just watch what's going on. Okay, and it's like for me, it's like the best position, because let's say I have a joker and I can show my joker on at that time when there is no decision, when the man cannot make a decision. And thanks God, it's always like that. So, and I don't want to, prove them that who I am and what I achieve. So basically you can go just Google, write my name and surname, and just watch who I am. I mean, I already proved myself who I am. And and I believe men, of course, they are scared for smart and intelligent woman. It's like that, especially when you are working with a man. But all of my life I'm working with a man, and in this moment I have a man, and I can balance between man mentality and woman mentality, which is really nice. And I believe regarding supporting women, it's not about supporting or not supporting women. It's like about generally support each other. Because of course, women should support each other much more. And I very appreciate the value of the woman who really ready to support. And it's very less number in this moment. This is like real statistic. But woman empowerment and like the woman leadership is very important everywhere, in economic and politics, wherever, in any kind of the business. And of course, it's good that in this moment we can have some community. And thanks for digital technology for it as well, because we cannot travel, we cannot present in different conference, and of course it's supporting us. And I believe like we need to find solutions, because to find solutions is maximum five steps, like 5 people. You have to know 5 people, then you can then you can have a solutions which will help you make a decision. Okay, and because, for example, I think it's some psychological block in the mind, because I have as well the master degree of psychology, and I know this problem very well. And the woman doesn't matter like where we are from, which nationality, which language we are speaking. If we feel ourselves that we have to support, we are doing it for ourselves, not to get thanks. Because it's like everything will come back. It's like a world law. So, and the woman, they have to support, because I think if we're speaking regarding globally, of course, it's a man leadership is like the much strong and much powerful. But to show the world, because we have a lot of examples of the woman leadership since the presidency, politics, whatever. But and by the way, the country where the woman is president is going up much faster than the man. It's really like that. So
can I add something as well? Just according to Harvard Business Review, this is what actually happened in 2020. I have these numbers. If your country is led by a woman, you are 1/6 less likely to die of coronavirus. Could you imagine? And if your country is led by a man, you are 600% more likely to die of coronavirus. Could you imagine? And look at these countries. Yes, you're right. And I'm so inspired by the Prime Minister of Finland, Sanna Marin. I'm sure you know this woman. And you know what? Her entire cabinet is pretty much woman. And Finland has all these impressive statistic. Like, it's one of the most happiest countries in the world. It's top 15 most safest, top 10 best education, top 10 most stable economy. So I'm gonna vote always for the woman. And we are voting for incompetent man over highly competent woman. So let's vote for woman.
Awesome. Luis,
Yeah.
did you want to add? Yeah, do you want to add anything to that?
Oh, no.
And then I'll ask Maria a question.
No, no problem. It's fine.
Okay, all right. So along that same line, Maria, what advice do you have for younger women entering the workforce that want to be leaders, that want to make a difference in the world, like the amazing women that are part of this panel?
It's for me question or for Maria?
For Maria.
Sorry, I mute myself. Thanks so much for this question. Yeah, I have so many advisors, but here I would like to quote May Musk. May Musk, she is the mother of Elon Musk, and I truly recommend reading her recent book. It's called A Woman Makes a Plan. And where she inspires women not to be afraid to get older. You know, I'm 33 years old. I can't wait for my 70s. And she's 72, and she even has a hashtag, it's great to be 72. But the quote I really like is, it says, if you have a good attitude and you make a plan and, you know, you kind of go for it, even Mars is possible. And it's true, you know. So Mike, and I would like to give this advice that everything, literally, you know, anything is possible, period. And you have to believe in yourself. You know, if you can't find a job, your dream job, just go create your dream job. Number one. And number two, what I would like to mention is that success might be so different, and you have to redefine your own success. Like it might be money, or health is wealth, you know, or being famous and, you know, having being an influencer, right? Or family. So you have to take time, sit down, and make it clear what is success. Like, don't look at me, right? Don't look at you. What is success? Look for you. That is also very important. Thank you.
Well said, because I think that's a really good point, because sometimes we just look at somebody else and decide, well, if I don't look like that, if my success doesn't look like that, I must have failed. And I know that as an entrepreneur, one of my companies failed whenever the bank I was with failed during the financial crisis of 2008. And it started, when they pulled my note, it caused me to get wobbly. And at the time, I remember really thinking about, what does success mean? And I had a reporter in the States interview me, and I just spilled the beans. I talked about the whole journey and what happened, what went right, what went wrong. And I had some people come back to me and say, Debra, don't be so honest. No, we need to be honest, because the reality is success is not a straight line. It moves and shifts and it looks different. So it is not a straight line. But
it's a journey.
It is a journey, and we have to applaud our own journeys and applaud other journeys. And I also think we need to be more authentic and honest about our journeys, because I look at everybody else and they just seem to be, they were so much smarter than me. They never made any mistakes. Well, that's not true. But that's why I was so, and I continue to be very honest. I'm going to go around again, and I'm going to ask everybody the same question, just because I think this is a really good question. And so I will prepare you all for it. But what do you consider one of your greatest accomplishments? The reason why I'm asking that is because women also tend to be a little bit more humble and shy and not brag about what the amazing women that we are. So I'm going to start again with you, Prakriti, if you can answer that question.
You know, I'm going to just take a thread from what you were talking about, Debra. I think my greatest accomplishment is my unbiased, authentic honesty. I am 100% honest about myself, about my skills, about my talents, about my beliefs, about my suffering, about my pain, about everything that I go through. It's on the surface. And I find that people find it, you know, a lot of people, as you're saying, also find it offensive, you know. And the whole point is, but if you're not real, how are you helping build reality? Why are you focusing on stories that are unreal and where you mask your vulnerability? Because at the end of the day, the power of the woman is working through the challenges and coming through on the other side. And when I'm working with women, and I work I work with my hands on people, because I'm also a therapist. So being a therapist makes me believe in the power of your own life journey, because there is a very strong sense of there's no right and there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. And like Maria, you just said, it's a journey. And unless you accept every part of the journey, the good and the bad, you can't grow beyond it. And a lot of us will not talk about the bad. In fact, in my foundation, my tagline, not one of the taglines, the tagline is silence toro. Silence, everybody knows it's an English word. Toro means break. And it's all about break the silence. Stop numbing yourself, stop muting yourself, open yourself to being able to sort of recognize and being honest about what you're going through, whether that be good or bad. It's not about weakness. It's about strength. Recovering from anything that you have overcome, recovering from anything that you've been put through, elevating yourself from that is actually the greatest lesson. And I found that even when I speak to people, if I don't find authenticity in their voice, I walk away. Unless they're coming for therapy, then I get them to a place where they can understand that authenticity is the key to success. And no matter what it's not for women and men, it's for man, woman, child, it's for everybody. The more authentic you are, the more you can hear your purpose, the more you can actualize giving back in society, because first you start with giving to yourself. And you can only give to yourself if you uncover the reality through the noise of the masks. So uncovering that has been my greatest lesson. And I'm so honored to be able to do this for other people as well. I'm so honored when people allow me to shed their masks and they allow themselves to come through. It's almost like I see people emerging from their own shells. And I think that, I feel blessed to be able to do that. And I think if every woman, man, child, if every human being could do this, we would be such a supportive nation or such a supportive world. And that, I don't think there's anything else beyond being authentic. And I think that's my greatest lesson.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love listening to you. You definitely, I can see you up on the TEDx stage talking about that topic. That's really, really beautiful. Thank you. And this morning on Twitter, I think Huawei had said, what is the one word that defines a woman? And I was thinking, and immediately I thought of authentic, but I wound up using collaborators, because women are collaborators. We're collaborators, and we're not going to solve these huge global problems if we don't collaborate. So that was very beautiful. Thank you. Kimiko, how about you?
Well, it's like really inspiring to hear the sharing from Prakriti. And I definitely think like authenticity is one of the superpower that we like women have. So about myself, I think that I also have another keyword in addition to authenticity is like the integrity. So integrity for me is kind of like doing the right thing, even though like when nobody is watching. So that's the definition of my integrity. And I think being like integrity, keeping the integrity, even though there's no one know and no one is watching, has like in the long run has put me in the position that I'm being entrusted with so many critical projects of our country. And I think one of the greatest achievement for me last year is when I was like losing myself in the service of the community. So during the COVID time, it was like the whole, at that time, the whole country was in the lockdown and no one go out, and like people take this chance for having like the vacation. And I was like my whole in the consulting business, we got delayed most of the project, and the whole team went home and they say like, okay, let's have like 1 month break. But at that time, I decided for the team to do a community project instead. So we helped the Ministry of Health doing a community music project for people who stay at home, and we have kind of like the cheering song for them during like it's kind of like the community project that we did, and it was gaining more than 20 million views by spending zero money on that one, and it was supported by more than 200 KOLs, singers, and famous people in the country. So at that time, like we didn't know what we would go through doing that, but it's like the whole month of working on a creative project, and like there's no financial or budget on this one. So all we did was like the creativity. I go and then knock the door virtually, like knock the door on any single point of contact, the brands and the famous people that I know, and we put together the proposal. So later on, it was becoming like the huge national project, and it became like the most influential project that also got like viral to the United Nations and so on. So I think that sometimes the thing that you get really proud at that time when we do that is it's just from listening to our heart. Like we have no intention of having anything or something like that, but we think that is the right thing to do, some kind of encouragement music, and like bringing like the informative information, and also like to cheer up like the spirit of the people. So we did that, and we did that based on the very famous song that is already very famous in Vietnam. So we work with like the whole artist team. So I think that the key point that I want to draw from here is sometimes your biggest achievement is not based on the intention that you originally did, but like when you did that with your whole heart and like with the very good will and the good intention, it's like the most rewarding moment is when you see that something that you did based on your goodwill turned into a very good result.
Wow, that's a powerful story. And it's amazing what a little bit of hope will do for people. So, and you'll see a theme of these amazing women, that the thing that's making them the happiest is when they give back and they impact other people's lives. And I think that's the only way forward. So I'm very honored to be on this panel with y'all. So, okay, Luiza, it's your turn. What do you consider one of your greatest accomplishments?
I believe like, to feel opportunity, when you can catch and feel opportunity. Because for me, the one of the important words which is follow my life and what I'm sharing with my network, it's opportunity, and I love to do it. I just will give you a small example. In 2018, when I started the global project, it's called Al Arabiya, and basically each door which I tried to knock, they all tell me like, "Are you crazy? This kind of projects you need minimum 6 months. It's like minimum, normally 1 year." And I said, "No, I will do it for 50 days." And just after time, I realized that let's say 70% people who support me, they was women. It was like women from politics, women for business, even like my friends, my family friends, and it's so blessing. It's really blessing when you can have this kind of network. And first of all, I think each of us, we should to believe of ourselves. Okay. We have to work which we love, because for a woman, if she make a work which she didn't love, it's disaster. She will just losing a lot of time to do what she don't love, and she will kill her energy, which she don't need to do. And I believe if you have any kind of opportunity, doesn't matter where, when you can share your opportunity with someone, it's like a synergy, and opportunities coming in your life, because everything, money, possibilities, investment, project, they are coming from people. Okay. And people is giving you this kind of, because it's all information, the people giving you this kind of information. When you get it, you have to be thankful. And if someone is coming in your life and they need some opportunity to grow up, do your best. Even if you don't have, for sure you have a network. You can, for example, even also the small example, when it was the pandemic, like everything was totally locked down, and I just sitting on myself and I think, okay, what I have to do? Like, okay, the business is stopped. I don't know what to do. Of course, like the first month, I just watching some movies, Netflix, whatever. Then one friend of mine, she called me, she said, "Listen, we need a masks for hospital. I said, oh my God, where I am, where is masks? Like what? Then after 2 months, I created a group with all buyers and all sellers. I didn't know nothing about it. Then I closed one big deal and earn money. This is about, you can involve you even in some sphere which you didn't know, because it's absolutely another way working your mind. Okay. And when I realized what I did after 3-4 months, I said, wow, it's really like, maybe it's a small things. Then this money is helped me to create a charity fashion cruise, support a lot of children who was sick and families who don't have money to survive during the pandemic. We create charity event, and I was more than happy to did it, because I'll see the feedback and it inspire me. And when something can inspire me, I can inspire another people. It's like a synergy. And, I believe that especially women, we have 7, even not 6, 7 feelings. You have to feel what you are doing. When you absolutely find your way, what you are doing, you need just go. Don't stop. Don't afraid for nothing. Don't afraid. Everyone will come and say, of course, you cannot. The world will trying you. Are you ready for forget your biggest surprise or not? Just go, just do your maximum, whatever you can do. Believe on yourself, make some community on the same vision, people with the same vision, and everything will come on the right time, in the right moment, with the right people, and you will achieve your goal. Nothing can stop you if you're absolutely sure inside of yourself that this is your goal, and you have to be on the top. And when you get to the top, support other people, inspire other people, share your opportunity to other people, because it's going step by step, more bigger. That's it.
Well said, well said. And you made me think while you were, I love your comments. If you want something done, give it to a smart woman. And so congratulations, that's a great example. Maria, last but not least again, let's hear from you on this question.
I think this is not easy in general to talk about your own achievements, right? And answering to this question, I would like to encourage women to learn how to be proud of themselves. It's so important to, if you don't know how to celebrate the small kind of accomplishments and the small milestones, you will never feel fulfilled. And this is also how we can build our confidence. Yes, don't be afraid, don't be shy, and just like that. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what we've done. I'm proud of the woman I'm becoming. Yeah, that would be my answer.
And that's really beautiful, Maria. And I think that once again, I'm coming from a different generation, but we were told when I was little that and once again, I grew up in the States, and so it depends on where you grew up, but still, that if you were really a lady or if you were really a good girl, you would never brag about what you have done. And we saw that really impacting women negatively when it comes to investors funding our businesses, because men, God bless them, will go out there and they'll tell you everything they did. But women are not like that. We are bad about talking about our accomplishments. And so and once again, that's why it's so important that we all support each other. And so I loved that answer. Very, very good answer, Maria. Now, what we're going to do, I know we have about 15 minutes left. And so I'm going to ask one question to Prakriti and Kimiko, and then I'm going to ask a second question to Luiza and Maria. So I'm going to start with the first two, and I'm going to ask you, why do women make great leaders? And do you believe they have different leadership styles from men? And once again, Luiza and Maria, if you also want to make comments on that, just let us know. But you have the floor, Prakriti.
Thank you. Women are natural leaders. I mean, we're we're creators. We create families, we create babies, we create. And I think somebody was talking to me the other day, and this is quite interesting because I was saying something about a solution, and he turned around and said, it's really quite amazing how manipulative women can be. And I'm like, I think that's a wrong comment. I think what you mean is creative problem solving. It's not called manipulation. Just the way in which it was said was offensive to me, and I didn't mean to lash back out, but I do that quite a bit. Sorry about that, but that's me, right? I'm honest and transparent. And I think that's, when you're looking at the leadership styles, and I do this a lot because I do corporate training, the leadership styles that men want are the leadership styles that women have naturally. The honesty, the integrity, the decisiveness. I mean, we have to be decision makers because, I have 3 kids and I'm not a millennium. So I'm like 46 years old, right? And my 3 kids are 15 and 13 and 8. I need to make decisions every day. I don't wait to verify whether my decisions are correct or not correct, because I just need to do that. And not in a manner that is that was not here. I will hear, but I know I have to make sure that happens. And being a woman who's doing 2 jobs, which is I have my full-time job and I have a passion, which both merge in my full-time job, but I do have a foundation that I also look at. I have to be highly organized because I also have 3 kids. I have to be highly organized. And these are things that women have more than men in terms of their leadership styles. So I think compassion is, again, an innate character. We are compassionate because that's, whether it be nurture or nature, it is part of the way in which we are brought up. No matter where you are, whether you're in the United States or anywhere else, women are taught from a very young age to be givers. So compassion comes, naturally to us because we've not been self-centered in a manner which is, which is just focused on the individual and in my own individuality and everything's about me. Women have been taught to take care of their young, take care of their siblings, take care of their parents. I remember when I was 3 years old, my family got into an accident. I was making the sandwiches for everybody and not my brother who was a year older than me. So compassion is something that's there. Innovation. Like I said, we definitely innovate. And we make sure that, for us, the whole idea is that our ambition is there, yet as a leader, the most important traits, and I will again recap the most important traits, their ambition, innovation, compassion, decisiveness, intelligence, and honesty. If I was just to take these five or 6 character traits, women have that in abundance. So I find that, of course, women are natural leaders. If we're not, and I heard this somewhere and I thought it was great. It said, don't empower me, just move out of my way. Don't empower me. I already have it all, And I think I want to reiterate that. Don't block me. Don't block my growth. Don't block me. And this pandemic, I have to say, I want to add one more thing before I move, give this to somebody else, the baton. But this pandemic has really worked in 2 ways. One, it's taught everybody who was fighting flexi hours and fighting at-home working have realized that everybody can do the same thing. And you can be as successful even working from the home. And I wish that this lesson is carried forward because women will have equal opportunity in the workplace at that point. Flexi hours, again, I know that I have to wake up early because I got to get my kids ready for school, make sure everything's aligned so that I can focus on my work. And I think if the PNC, people in culture and HR recognize this and support this, I think great partnerships and collaborative teams can be built. And when you're looking at team building, even if you look at decisiveness, ambition, and intelligence being more a male-dominated psyche, which I actually don't believe, but if you believe that, then you have to have in your team honesty, intelligence, and compassion, which a woman will bring. So the yin and the yang have to marry in a sense to make that combination successful in any business. So as important as men, equally important are women. And this is not a battle of who's more important. It is a recognition of equal importance. And I think both parties have to work together so that there's no combating or fighting. It's all about mutual, collaborative, successful partnerships where men and women are equal gender equity in the workplace. And I think that's crucial as a leader. If you can empower women or move aside so that the woman can move forward, don't give us your place either, because we have the capability of taking it and being there. So don't give it to us, but don't block us. And I think that's the most important leadership skill for a male leader, to be also completely in his own power, to be able to allow himself not to be belittled. Because I know that I heard you, Luiza, saying that something about how the people don't think of your success initially, and then you rise to the occasion. And I believe that we don't have to prove ourselves. We do, like Luiza said, we do just have to be equal on the playing field, which we are, but we get minimized. And I think that's really important, that we don't allow ourselves to be minimized. And if somebody's trying to minimize you, or they use terminology that doesn't apply to you, stand up against it politely. You don't have to be aggressive, because again, another thing I find in the workplace, when women want to get hired, they dawn on this masculinity. And I don't think we need that, because our power is in our femininity. I mean, we in India, we have this heritage of the woman being so powerful that it's called the Shiv Shakti. Shakti is power, and Shakti is a feminine energy. So I don't even need to fight this. It's always been in our heritage. Women are the kinetic force of energy. And that, if you put it wherever you put it, in whatever field you put it, you will automatically be a success. So don't dawn on any masculine traits. Just be empowered in your own being.
Well said. And I know that we really are out of time, but I'm hoping that behind the scenes, they'll allow us just to, I'd like to, Kimiko, if you could go and just give us some last final thoughts, and then Luis and Maria, just so that we can get your final thoughts. But what a powerful conversation. We really needed hours upon hours, but how beautiful. So Kimiko, let me give you final words, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm just so lost. Like for the last 1 hour, it's like really great sharing, and I think that we like like my neck got tired of like on the nodding, because like this is like all true. And even though when we come from a different background, I think like one of the wrap up things that I want to mention. I think this one anyone can not do, because for me, I heard over and over the comments that from my boss or my colleagues, like male counterparts, they say that, oh my gosh, like when women do your project and something, you make your jobs look effortless. So we get things done, but like, it looks so smooth and it just get done. And like, I think that the reason is that like we are natural, like, organizer, and we are like very determined to complete the task on time, on budget. Like, so naturally we are very good project manager, but with the compassion to motivate or to inspire the team. So in our nature, it's like to be like a very nurturing and listening leadership and leading by examples. So the leadership life, the leadership style of like the woman leaders I know, most of all, like they lead by example, and I think that they come across as like being very strong and determined, but without looking very aggressive. So that's the key point. So we are like kind of like relentless workforce, and we are kind of like the water current that we are still like going our way, but in a very calm manner, and like somehow we get things done smoothly, and it looks like effortless, but it's kind of like the harmony that we are able to pull together. And I think this will be even like showing even more when we come together as like kind of like the community, and we understand the way, we understand that to get here, we already have to overcome a lot of challenges and so on. But we are not talking about the problems or the challenge. It's the way, like we are talking about how we move forward, and what we learn and what we can learn from each other.
I agree. And I believe that sadly we are out of time. So Maria and Luis.
I actually, to be honest, it's super interesting. And I'll just tell you, I mean, I would say I was on mute for a long time, just kind of listening. I don't want to hijack. I'm just kind of just saying my thoughts. I'm in an interesting position because I have a 14-year-old stepson, and I'm listening to this, but I also am trying to have more kids, including daughters. And I'm pirouetting between worlds, listening to this. And Prakriti, first of all, you're 46. I'm 51. You look so much better than I do. I mean, I mean, sorry to take it at a real base level, but what the heck, dude? give me a blood transfusion now, like now. I don't know what you got. I don't know if you got the India superpower female genes, but whatever you got, I want some of that. So that's super awesome. Yeah, but no, it's interesting. I don't know. It just got me thinking. Everything you were saying. So I don't know. Let's go. Debra, if you want to go for another 5 minutes, I think it's worth it. So just what do you feel like?
I would love for Luiza and Maria to do it. So thank you, Gordon.
Yeah, sure. Of course, please.
And we know that we only have 5 minutes, so 2 minutes each, ladies. So Luiza, we'll start with you.
I believe, if you can organize your homework, you can rule the country. And the woman should realize that we are the last creation of the God, and this is the fact. Okay. And yeah, we have a creativity mind much more bigger than the men's, to be honest, in my opinion. We are multifunctional, we are more organized, and we have the one very strong thing, it's our feelings. Feelings is something which, men is more about logic, we are about feelings. But you can match inside of yourself your logic, your mind, and your feelings, so you can find a way where to go and where to be. This is like balance, and there's a lot of practice how to achieve the balance, and the woman need to work for this for sure. And of course, never give up, always believe on yourself and do whatever you can do, and don't allow no one in this world to judge you, because you have to believe that you are really best person, and you deserve only wonderful life. Is belief of yourself, believe the God, and just go ahead. Easy. Just feel your energy. Thank you.
Well said, well said. Maria?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much, and I feel so empowered. I can't wait to meet you all in person. Luiza, let's meet up in Dubai. Let's do it. Yes, and you're more than welcome to join our Third Millennium Woman platform as well. Please find me on Instagram at Maria Jones blog. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm super happy and excited.
Yes,
I'm gonna be annoying. I'm in Dubai in 10 days, and I don't think I can join the Millennium Women, but I'd be happy to meet. This is a super interesting group. So,
yes. That's so cool. And also special thanks to Digital Week Online for having this really important panel, because we need to talk about these topics from a global, multicultural, different age lens. So we appreciate the leadership that you're showing us with that. So I think we're done, ladies, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Great panel. Very impressive. Thank you so much. I learned a lot, actually. Thank you. All right, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you all.